Alright guys, we're going to be changing out the fuel pump on a 94 Miata. This one has the 1.8. We'll be doing the Deatschwerks fuel pump kit, 255 liters per hour. It's a DW200. That is the part number. Comes with the install kit as well. You can find the link below to where you can purchase one of these. Alright, so step one, we're going to pull up the front seats all the way forward so we have a lot of room to work with. The fuel pump is going to be right under here, so we're going to take off the carpet right here.
Damn. Push it like under here.
Underneath the carpet.
Oh, it's freaking clean.
Right under here is where the fuel pump's going to be. So we're going to get a Phillips head screwdriver, and we're going to go ahead and take off these screws on the cover holding it in.
Now we're good.
Why, you're not going to tell them? Okay.
Yeah, you should probably tell them.
Alright, so there are a total of 6 screws holding in. And now we have access to the fuel pumps here. We're going to unplug this harness, and we're going to let the car run just so we can purge all the fuel that's pumped right now. Go ahead and start it up.
Didn't take long.
Open up the gas cap.
Pop that off to relieve pressure. So next we're going to pull off these 2 metal clamps right here. And then when those are off, we're going to pull off the 2 rubber hoses. And we have this towel here to catch the gas that's going to leak out when we pull them off. Tuck this out of the way, and then get your towel ready because fuel might come out here.
Whoop. There's that 93 octane.
Yeah. And then the other one. More gas, a little bit more. Okay. So now we can go ahead and tuck these 2 hoses out of the way. Just remember which one went on which plug, but they should lay approximately where they're supposed to go. Okay. And then we just have to undo the 8 screws holding on the fuel pump assembly. So now we got the 8 small Phillips screws holding on the whole assembly to the tank. So we're going to take off these clamps so we don't lose them. Put them off to the side, and then this whole thing should just lift out. And you have to be careful of your float when you pull it out. Sometimes it likes to get stuck and get bent, which you don't want. So we're going to let this drain a little bit before we pull it all the way out, and then we'll switch the pump. So now that we have the pump assembly out, we're going to remove this old pump. To do that, we need to unplug this little harness here, take off these 2 clamps and the rubber hose, this little rubber holder, and then it'll all just pop out.
Gas will leak occasionally from the pump, as you can see. So just do it in an area where leaking will not be a problem.
I actually really don't need to take that one off. Think about it. And separated. So now that we had this old pump out, we went ahead and opened up the new box. So what comes in the box, you have this accessory kit, some new fuel line, some nice clamps, a lot better than the stock ones, and a new boot that goes on the bottom of the pump. Also, this wiring harness right here, which we're not going to use. We can just reuse the old one. Of course, you have the new Deatschwerks 200 pump, and then the fuel pickup, and this little washer that's used to hold the pump, or to hold the pickup onto the pump. So the first thing we need to do with the new pump is to pull off this cap on the bottom, and then we're going to install the new filter. So you can see it's pretty self-explanatory. The big hole goes on the big hole, and this little notch goes over the tab on the bottom of the pump. The final part to fully install the filter is to just get this little lock washer type thing onto the tab, the black tab. We got the filter on, and then we now have the new rubber boot that just sits right on there, and then you put it into the bottom bracket first, and then flip it over, and you can see that with the new pump, because it's larger, it pretty much just lines right up to this metal fuel line here. So we won't need a whole lot of hose, probably about 2 inches worth of hose just to cover this fitting here.
So this is the hose that came with the kit, and as you can see, we're not going to need the whole length of this. This is probably like 3 inches long, so we're just going to cut about 3/4 of it.
So we got the new pump in, we have the rubber seat on the bottom, and we put the new hose on. It's important to remember to put these new clamps on before you put the hose piece on, because otherwise you'll have to take it all back apart to get these on. So we're going to tighten these down, plug in the sender back into the new pump, and just get it all buttoned up, and it'll be ready to go back inside the car. Okay, so everything is all plugged in and tightened down real nice on the new fuel pump. Make sure these are super tight, because if they come off, you're not going to be getting any fuel, and your car will sputter out and shut down. So just make sure those are real nice and tight. Now we're gonna go ahead and drop it back into the fuel tank the same way it came out. So set it down, get your plug out to the side, and same with your two hoses. Just try to keep them out of the way under here while you're dropping it in. When you drop it in, make sure you watch for the float again. We don't want to bend that. So once that's down inside the tank, you're good there. Just drop everything straight down, nice and slow. Okay, we've got our holes lined up now. We're gonna put back the small, the 8 small Phillips head screwdrivers all around the edge here, get them torqued down nice and even in a star pattern, just like how you do your tires. We're going to plug the plug back in and put back the 2 lines, and we should be ready to give it a test fire. Everything is nice and tight here on these lines. Make sure you get these clamps on really tight, because there's gonna be a lot of pressure going through there and it'll leak if they're not tight. We plug this back in. So now before we put the outer cover back on, we're gonna try to fire it up and make sure it works. Before you try to start the car all the way, just turn it to the on position without actually cranking it. You should hear the fuel pump go, and we'll do that a couple times to prime the system. There it is. You hear it? Alright, so we've primed it now. We're gonna try to start it up.
You can hear the fuel pump. It's kind of like a high-pitched whine. This specific fuel pump is supposed to be pretty quiet, noticeable, like the stock, so it won't be too annoying for you guys. Alrighty, so the car runs perfectly. We had it going for a few minutes. Pump is in great operating condition. Now to finalize the install, we just got to put the tray back over the fuel pump and then put the carpet on top, and we're good to go.